Captain's log, stardate 45703-99. Me and the crew have just left DS9. Met somebody over at Quarks that could tell me the whereabouts of the Emperor of the Nine Realms. So we're going through the wormhole, baby. Gonna go there and look for Random Girl. I have not sent the broadcast out to Kombat AllStar because, frankly, I have nothing to report. But when I do, I will find him. And I will let him know everything is okay. Hands up in the air. Welcome to the Kombat AllStar Show, brought to you by Quantum VFX, making the impossible possible. I am Kombat AllStar, and today we have a lot of topics to talk about, a lot of things to go over. So without further ado, let me run down that good old list. So in video games, this is in no particular order, of course, as always. Video games, we're going to be talking about Doom. In the movie section, we're actually going to be talking about Rotten Tomatoes. There's been a lot of movies that have come out, and I'll dig deeper into that when I get to that section. Random Zone, we're going to be talking about some Xbox because a lot of really interesting things on the horizon. I know I kind of touched on E3 in the podcast, and now I'm going to kind of dig a little deeper into what Xbox is doing, the rumors, the patents, all that good stuff. And in comic books, I'm going to be talking about my favorite comic book distributor, Comixology. So stay tuned for that. Some interesting stuff going on for that. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's talk comic books.
In comic books, we're going to be talking about Comixology Unlimited. Now, for those of you who do not know, Comixology Unlimited released a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, roughly, and they are basically giving you free comics every month for a subscription of $5.99, and that's basically what it is. I mean, you get a bin full of comics. There's a ribbon across the comic that says Unlimited, and it lets you know this if you buy if you subscribe to the Unlimited package or the Unlimited deal or subscription, that you actually get all these bulks of comics for free. Now, they say that it's a lot like Netflix, but it looks a lot more like a digital library. When you go and click on the screen, it says borrow. So you can actually borrow the comic, you can read it, and then I assume that it deletes from your hard drive, or maybe you can keep it on there. I'm not sure. I haven't. It's really new, so I haven't read enough comics to know whether it deletes from your hard drive or it just stays on there, and then if you get rid of the service, it just deletes. So either way, it's an interesting concept. I do like it a lot. What the only downer I think to it is the comics they have inside of it. Now I know that it's relatively new, and when Netflix was new, when Hulu was new, when all those subscription-based services were new, it wasn't the greatest. You didn't have the greatest stuff. But now it's been years. It's been, I don't know how many years for Netflix, and I don't know how many years for Hulu. But now you got some good stuff. You got some good stuff in there. It looks pretty darn awesome. Netflix is doing a lot of really cool things. So I assume it's going to be the same thing with Comixology. The biggest downer though is they have a lot. Okay, so they have a free section. If you guys are familiar with Comixology, they have a free section, and now they have this unlimited section. In the free section, you get a good sampling of a lot of different comics from a lot of different publishers. So you have Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, the whole nine is in there, right? And it's just, you know, maybe one-offs here, maybe, you know, little short comics there. But in the Unlimited package, you don't get those big names. You don't get the Marvels, you don't get the DCs. I was hoping that some of my monthlies were actually in this Unlimited package. So that kind of sucks. I'm not going to be able to read any Rebirth comics or read any of the big events that Marvel puts on. It, you know, it kind of brings the whole tone of it down, but it is cool in a way that if you're really into comics and maybe you wanted to pick up the new Power Rangers comic, the new Ninja Turtle comic from IDW, and you weren't 100% sure if it was going to be good or not, this is a good way to do it. It's a good way to try comics that are lesser known to see if you like it or not, and maybe you'll be a fan of it. I know the biggest thing they have in there is The Walking Dead. They have the first 15 comics of the Spawn, the original. Well, I can't say original Spawn because they haven't redone Spawn. They just kind of continue Spawn. But they have issue 1 through 15 of Spawn. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. If you're not into the big names, Marvel and DC, So I implore anybody that's in the comics, go check it out. It really is a good value. I'm just hoping that they put some of the bigger names in there later, so we kind of have a better gauge of what they're trying to go for, what their goal is with this thing. Right now, it just seems like they want you to try different comics so you can buy more comics, but it would be nice if it was really like a Netflix and it provided you all kinds of awesome stuff in it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have Comixology Unlimited? Were you wanting to try it? Now you know some more information because I told you. Leave your comments below. This is an interesting thing. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. So this is really important to get the word out there, spread the word. We want Comixology to do well, because if they do well, then there are going to be more comics in this service. There's going to be a lot more content, a lot more meat, a lot more. Hey, they may throw some back issues in there. I've been killing for some Marvel vs. DC. Maybe they'll throw that in the Unlimited bin. So only time will tell, but go and tell your friends, subscribe to it. They have a 7-day trial, then they have a 30-day trial going on. I'll put both in the link in the description below. I'm not sure how long the 30 days is going to last, but at least it'll be in the link in the description below, and you guys can try it out and tell me what you think about it.
Let's talk movies!
So, in movies, we're actually going to be talking about Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up is because there have been a lot. Well, we all know that there's been a lot of superhero movies, period. But there have been quite a few movies that have come out so far this year. And, we've had Civil War, we've had Batman vs. Superman, now we have X-Men. As far as the big blockbuster comic book type movies. And Rotten Tomatoes, I've never ever agreed with them at all. There's a lot of movies that I really like and they give low scores to. So, with that said, I don't really trust their opinion. I don't trust what they think about movies that I like John Wick, Last Action Hero. I don't think that they're a valid source or a valid anything. But for some reason, people still take their critiques to heart. I mean, because of their critiques, a movie could either do really well or really bad. And we all know that an individual is smart, but the ignorant masses are exactly what I said, ignorant masses. They don't go out and see stuff for themselves. They're not interested in finding out things for themselves. So if the consensus is you don't like it, or people don't like it, you go out there and say you like the movie, and people just act like you're the worst person ever, like your opinion doesn't matter. And so back to Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, okay. So I just come out and say it. So X-Men came out. A lot of mixed reviews on it. There are people that the Rotten Tomatoes basically slammed it. There's a few people that gave some honest opinion on it about how they love the movie, but they don't like certain things about the movie, like Jennifer Lawrence's acting in it. She, didn't care. There are people that loved James McAvoy's acting. I mean, there's different. You can dissect the movie into different parts and like different things about it. Then there's the overall experience. And from what I've been hearing online, people that have seen the movie like the movie and they've enjoyed the movie. There are just certain parts of the movie that they don't really like. And Rotten Tomatoes basically slammed the movie. It's not doing well in the box office. Now, in my humble opinion, I have not seen the movie, but I've talked to close personal friends that have seen the movie, and they thought it was outstanding. So, and these are guys who are really into the comics and everything. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. And even Batman vs. Superman, that's a perfect example of Rotten Tomatoes, the critics just completely slamming a movie. And I told you guys before, I thought the movie was way better than Captain America vs. Civil War, and I still stand by that. If you want to know exactly why, go check out the podcast. I believe it's the Black Panther one where I talk about that. And it's because basically they have a definitive ending. A lot of people that don't read the comics thought there were a lot of holes in it, but it wasn't. Captain America had the luxury of referencing other movies in the cinematic universe. Since DC is so new in the cinematic universe space, they didn't have that same luxury. So they actually referenced the comics. So if you weren't familiar with The Darkest Knight, if you weren't familiar with Lex Luthor, if you weren't familiar with all those characters that they took out of those story arcs and put into this movie, there was a lot of holes in it. I talked to people and they didn't understand that Apocalypse was there. They didn't understand that it was heralding towards Darkseid coming back. They didn't get any of that from the movie. But I did, because I read those comics and I understand what's going on. So, I digress. The critics slammed the movie. It was the harshest, worstest slams you can get in a movie, and they just destroyed the crap out of this movie. Well, I mean, what can I say? But I loved it. A lot of people liked it, but because of the critics, people didn't really go back and see it again. I know there's been worse movies that have come out, and people have gone back and saw the movie again. So it hurt. It hurt them. I mean, Batman vs Superman still did phenomenal, still broke records, still killed it in the superhero space, but it just wasn't as big as everyone thought it would be. And I think it was because they really compared it to Civil War, in which, you know, it was never going to be. Marvel has that movie space locked down pretty tight. DC is going to have to do some amazing things to actually get that space back and get a piece of that audience share. So they got a lot of work ahead of them, but they're in a good place. They got Ben Affleck doing producing stuff. They got Jeff Johns over there in charge of the whole cinematic universe. So they're going to do some great things. But that begs the question, what do you guys think of critics and Rotten Tomatoes? If you read a bad review, are you still not going to see the movie? Or will it change your mind? Will you say, oh, I'm really hyped for this movie. I just read a bad review, I'm not going to see it now. Will you see it anyway? Or will it be one of those, such a train wreck, they're ripping it so bad, I gotta go see it to see what they're talking about? Let me know. Basically, do critics influence you as far as going out and checking out a movie and seeing the movie? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think. For me, it doesn't. A lot of my friends, it doesn't. But I'm curious about the rest of the world. I mean, numbers point to yes, but I want to know what you guys think. You guys are way more intelligent than the people, the ignorant masses of the world. So comment below and let me know.
Let's talk video games.
In gaming, we're going to be talking about Doom. Now, it's weird to say Doom in my personal opinion, because when I say Doom, I think of the original Doom from back in the day. It would have been nice if they would have had like Doom 4 or Doom Rebooted or Doom The Saga Continues or something, so we don't confuse it with the original Doom. But I digress. Doom is an awesome game. Now, I have to admit, when I first saw Doom on Twitch, I wasn't really a fan. I looked at it and was like, this reminds me a lot of Halo. And they don't have their own identity, and that's what my initial thoughts were about it. But that was during the beta. They changed a lot of things during the beta, and actually went and tested it out, or went to Twitch again to watch, and it looked pretty fun. So I took a chance, went and bought it, and I'm glad that I did, because it is awesome. It is... The thing I like most about Doom is it harkens back to what a first-person shooter is supposed to be. It harkens back to the roots of what a first-person shooter is. Now, if you guys remember back in the day, you know, the Red Faction, when it was good, if you remember Halo 1 and 2, if you remember just all the old-school first-person shooters, I'm talking GoldenEye, like all of them were, you know, they were a lot of fun, and they weren't a lot of flash. It was simple gameplay mechanics, fun, straight out the box, really good stuff. I feel that Doom does the same exact thing really well. I'll talk about the multiplayer first. The multiplayer is amazing. You go and it's very bare bones. It's not a lot of flash. You don't get. I feel like games these days, they're, you know, even Halo 5 going towards esports and Call of Duty with all the perks, and it's unnecessary. If you have a really core group of people that are playing, and you have some good weapons, some good design, some good gameplay mechanics, that's all you need. This game delivers on all cylinders. You go in there and you just take apart people, and it's, you know, you got the ammo drops, you got the health drops, and that is it. You're not running around crazy like a maniac, like some esports Halo 5 game. You're not you know, getting sniped by some jerk who's hiding off in the bushes and killing you 5 straight, and then all of a sudden you get attack dogs as their perk coming at you, or you get some sort of weird robot or helicopter dropping bombs on you or something. So it goes back to the core. It is awesome. I wish more games would take a cue from Doom. id Software and Bethesda, they did a phenomenal job with the multiplayer mode. My only gripe is they need more stages, more levels. Right now, they only have maybe 5, if that. So that's really lacking. That really sucks. But other than that, it's a really, really good experience. Fun game. They even have a part where you actually go into a monster room or demon room. And you got 5 seconds to get to this area. You stand on the pentagram, and boom, you turn full-fledged demon, and you can kill, and you're basically indestructible for like a minute. But you can be killed. People tend to team up on you. But it's still fun. It's still a good time. A nice little thing that they added to it that didn't have to, and it makes the game so much more fun. So much more fun. It is so nice to sit down with a group of people, whether it be next to you or online, and just go at it. Only gripe is there, like I said, you need more stages, need more levels, and it would be nice if it was split screen. So only 2 things that I'm really not digging. Aside from that, it is a blast to play. You can customize your character. I think this is the deepest customization for a character in a first-person shooter game, in my opinion. I know Halo had a lot, but this, I mean, you can customize everything on them. So, I mean, the head, the torso, the arm, and it's just crazy. You can mix and match stuff. You can go and add patterns to it, add colors. You can add colors to the patterns. It's awesome. It's really, really amazing. The modes are awesome. I wish more people would play them. A lot of people seem to be playing Team Deathmatch, but I mean, they got modes like freeze tag, where, you know, it is what it is. If you guys played freeze tag before, and just stuff like that. It's just a lot of really cool stuff, really innovative stuff, and it's an amazing time. The multiplayer is worth the price of admission alone. It is just amazing. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it. At least watch some videos on Twitch or watch some gameplay. I know you guys seen it right here on the Combat-tron. If this doesn't entice your appetite to play some multiplayer or some Doom in general, I don't know what will. And the campaign is just awesome. The campaign is epic. I mean, the biggest thing about the campaign, the 2 biggest things I like about the campaign, and I haven't finished it, so I can only give you my impressions. I can't really review the game, but my impressions are really, really strong with this. I love it. All the emotions you get out of the character, from the hand gestures, and you know, when he picks up the chainsaw for the first time, how excited he is. It's building on one of the greatest hallmarks of Doom. If you're a Doom fan and you go play the original Doom, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, a lot of the character building is through the hand gestures and the emotions, the excitement and the shivers, and you know, when he gets berserker, you know, the hands, and it's just awesome. Even the glory kills, when you go in there and you're low on ammo, you want to rip somebody apart to get that extra life. It's basically like a gun button in any other game, but it's just it's raw with emotion. It's vicious. It is amazing. So that's just one of the things. And then the second thing I like about this game is there's not a lot of cutscenes. So in first-person shooters, traditionally, I'll take Halo for example, a lot of cutscenes. You may have a 14-hour game campaign mode, and then 8 hours of it is cutscenes. So in this game, they don't do that. They focus primarily on gameplay, and that is key. You know, you go in there and you get, you know, cutscenes, in-game cutscenes that explain the story and kind of get you along your path. But then you go from that, it's transitioned smoothly right into gameplay, and that does not last long. You're not getting minutes. You're getting maybe 8 minutes of, you know, if this is how it is, this is what's going on. Go kill some more demons. So I love that aspect of it. You know, it's awesome to get something so raw and something so I don't know, raw, natural, bare bones, but it's just so fun, and it's amazing. Those guys did an amazing job focusing on gameplay mechanics, focusing on just everything that is awesome about Doom, and making it work. And a lot of people didn't think that this would work, including myself, but I was proved wrong, and I'm happy I was. If you haven't got the game, go check it out on Twitch. It's definitely worth picking up. Let me know what you guys think about Doom. If you played it, let me know what you think. If you haven't played it and you saw my kind of impressions on it, let me know what you think too. This is an epic game in my opinion, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Please let me know.
Let's get random!
So, in Random Zone, the best part of the Kombat AllStar show, in my personal opinion, because I get to cut loose just a little tiny bit, we're going to be talking about Xbox. Now, like I said before in the beginning of the show, there's a lot of things happening at E3. I know I touched on a lot of this stuff during the podcast, if you guys listen to the Anything Goes podcast, but there's a lot going on, a lot of secrets, a lot of rumors, a lot of patents, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Now, there's a lot of rumors going around, and it's been confirmed by a lot of different sources, which I have in the description so you guys can check out. Not only do I have details of where it's being reported, but a lot more details of what I want to explain now. I want to get into the more opinionated part of it, rumor part of it, the exciting stuff, as opposed to the text, the number, and the specs. So, we know now that there's going to be two different Xboxes. There's going to be an Xbox Slim and then something called Xbox Scorpio. Now, the Slim is going to be coming out this year sometime. We don't know yet. They're going to announce it, I assume, at E3, but that's going to be coming out this year. And what's going to happen with the Slim is that it's going to be 40% smaller, and it's going to be, Sam, stop it. Stop shaking that. That's the camera. Don't touch your bed. Please. Just sit there. Can you just sit there? Okay, just sit there. Don't touch nothing. Don't move, don't do nothing. Okay? Alright. Gosh. In the random zone, the most important and awesome part of the show, in my personal opinion. Now, in this part, we're actually going to be talking about the Xbox One. Now, there's a lot of rumors been flying around. There's a lot of confirmed patents and all kinds of the technical stuff. There's been numbers flying around and specs and everything, which I'm not going to really get into. I'm going to primarily focus on the fun stuff and what's going to be happening in the next couple of years, what's going down. So, without further ado, let's get into what exactly is going on here. Now, we know that there's going to be two Xboxes. There's going to be one released this year and one released next year. There is no date on when these are going to be released. We just have the year. We also know that there's going to be, the first one that's going to be released this year is going to be the Xbox Slim. It's going to be 40% smaller than the Xbox Now, and it's going to have a 2 terabyte hard drive, which is awesome because I love digital downloading. I love collecting my games digitally. I never get to lose them. And it's just, after all the issues that I've had with scratch games and everything, to me, awesome, 2 terabytes. Good job, guys. I can't wait to see what this Xbox looks like. And this is the one I'm actually going to be picking up later this year. I was waiting for it. The second Xbox is a little bit more interesting. Now, this one is almost like a new Xbox. You know, not a Slim or another version of the Xbox One, but something new. This one's codenamed Scorpio. And Scorpio is going to also have a 2 terabyte hard drive. And it's going to be 4 times more powerful than the current Xbox right now, which is pretty insane. Well, I mean, considering that the Xbox One that we got now wasn't all that powerful, it makes a lot of sense. If it's going to be 4 times more powerful, it should keep up with kind of the lower mid-end PCs I read about now, so that's a good sign. That's a very good sign for consoles. And there's rumors that the 4K and not the 4K, I'm sorry, but the new Xbox Scorpio is going to be 4K compatible. Now that's not gaming, but for videos. If you're watching like Netflix and stuff, you can do 4K stuff. Or YouTube. I know some videos actually are displayed in 4K, so if you want to go ahead and do that, you can do that. Now my take and takeaway from this is it's good and bad. I know I talked about this previously on a couple podcasts ago, but it's good in the way that they're keeping up with the times. It's going to be a new Xbox. It's going to be pretty daggone awesome. But it sucks in the way of those people who have bought their Xboxes already. Now, Slims, everyone knows Slims are inevitable. They probably did like me and kind of, held off on getting an Xbox or sold their Xbox or, what have you to make room for the new Slim that's eventually coming. I mean, a couple of generations ago, we knew that Slims were coming and they kept coming. So that's the norm. We expect that. But a whole new Xbox, it's kind of the same thing as the PS4K. Not 100% on board with, kind of shafting the people who have bought your consoles already. Especially PlayStation, who has sold so many PlayStations. And now those people who have bought them, those loyal people who bought it from day one, are going to have to go back and buy an additional console. So I don't want to kind of, what's the saying, beat a dead horse here. but it is a bad idea. I'm more, open to an upgradable console. Maybe you can trade your console in to get something that's upgradable. Phil Spencer did talk about that. So this might be the Scorpio. Like I said, we don't have a lot of information on it. We just know the bare bones, the bare minimum, release date, 4 times more powerful. So we'll see. It may be the upgradable one. And it would be awesome if those people who purchased the previous Xboxes, whether it be the Slim or the regular Xbox, could trade in their Xbox for this kind of value, maybe 60%, and be able to get the new Scorpio. So that's my 2 cents on it. But more importantly, what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the description below, in the comments below, I should say. Also, hit me up on Twitter, talk to me, conversate. Let's get a dialogue going on with this. This is very, very interesting in my opinion.
Thanks for watching.
Once again, thank you all for joining me on this edition of the Kombat AllStar Show. It sucks I haven't heard anything back from Goo. I know he's up in his spaceship traveling around, and hopefully hear something soon because I miss my random girl. I need her here to do the show. But hopefully I didn't bore you guys, and you can just like, subscribe, and share. So important. We're trying to build this channel and create an army out there so we can share our opinions and let people know what we think about things that matter. I feel like a lot of YouTubers out there, just they get so busy and so convoluted in their celebrity, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, and they don't make as many videos as they should, and they kind of forget about the little guy, or maybe they're just, too busy. I know there's a couple of cases out there where, I'm not going to name any names, but you probably already know if you're into the gaming scene who I'm talking about, kind of neglecting the viewers and doing more streams and videos. And then there's other people who are actually getting more opportunities, which is awesome. They don't have, even though they have the passion to want to do the videos, that they don't have the time to do the videos. So me right now, I'm having the time to do those videos, and I want to share with everybody. I want us to talk and be a community and let people know that we're still out there, and even though some of us may have become celebrities, that there's a lot of us out there doing the daggone thing for the YouTube community. So like I said, like, subscribe, and share, conversate with me, and until next time, everybody, so long.